From Mount Union Stadium in Alliance, Ohio, it's time for NCAA Division III football. Hello there, everybody. Going to be bringing you all of the action of this afternoon's contest, an OAC contest, and a big one it is between the visiting Ohio Northern Polar Bears and the Mount Union College Purple Raiders. And Joe Tate, I think a lot of people had this one circled on their calendars when the schedules came out, realizing that this could be the battle for the OAC title this year.
And indeed it probably will be. It's going to be played in what appears to be now a long-term driving rain this afternoon, Harry.
And indeed, with Ohio Northern coming into this contest under Dean Paul with a 5-1 overall mark, they are 4-1 in the OAC, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. While Mount Union, the host team under Larry Karras, 6-0 overall, they are 5-0 in the OAC. But what I want to talk about is that 4-1 mark for Ohio Northern. I think a lot of people, when they circled that date on the calendar, expected these two teams to be playing undefeated and playing for the title in essence. But something happened along the way. John Carroll pulled off a huge upset and beat Ohio Northern, and it's taken a little bit of the luster off of this game.
And it was 50-25, so they didn't exactly squeak by them. They administered a pretty good thumping to the Polar Bears, but I don't think Ohio Northern's going to have any trouble getting up for this one this afternoon.
Well, and it's reminiscent a little bit of the Capital contest where Mount Union played Capital after Capital had gotten beat by Otterbein, and people thought that was going to maybe be an easy one for the Purple Raiders, and that's a game we had on television a couple of weeks ago, and we found out differently. The Crusaders played the Purple Raiders tough well into the fourth quarter before Mount was able to pull away. In this particular contest, you'd never know. The driving rain, there you see Dean Paul, the head coach of Ohio Northern, and he's a former player at Mount Union under Larry Karras, so you've got the pupil and the teacher going at each other, and last year, Ohio Northern gave Mount Union everything that they wanted at Ada before, again, Mount Union was able to pull away. So a lot of excitement for this one. It's kind of too bad that we've got this driving rain. It's kept away a little bit of the crowd, as we were expecting just a huge crowd in one of the OAC's finest games of the season. The Purple Raiders did win the toss and elected to receive. They do want the football. Last week, the Raiders with an impressive win at Marietta in a game which they got behind early, which has been a rarity for Mount Union. They got behind 7-0 on a 100-yard fumble return by the Pioneers as Terrence Mooring was trying to take the ball into the end zone. Recovery of the ball was made and bolted the other way for 100 yards, but after that, it was all Mount Union in the 59-7 win. There you see Larry Karras, his gaudy record of 223, 19-3 in his 20th season as head coach. We're set to go. The Polar Bears will be kicking off to the Raiders, and here to bring you the play-by-play of the voice of the Raiders, Joe Tate.
Thank you very much, Harry, as the Polar Bears kicking off. And he'll do the booting, puts his hand in the air, and then the foot to the ball, and Brad Hemphill, there is a onside kick, and it looks as though Ohio Northern pulled off the big ha-ha right off the top of the page as they will take over at their own 46-yard line.
Yeah, caught the Raiders napping here. Expecting the ball to go deep, and the ball is just put right where you need to put it. And Northern had the recovery, and they have the football.
Sean Toll was the man who finally fell on the football, but
probably some scrambling going on in the truck. They were ready to put up Mount Union's offense. Now they're going to have to put up Ohio Northern's offense eventually.
First to the football is Kevin Thomas, 6'3", 255 senior center from Dublin, Ohio. The quarterback, Adam Quirk, 5'11", a junior from St. Clairsville. And he hands off immediately, driving up to the 48-yard line. We'll be talking about this young man this afternoon on a regular basis, although this was Terry Summers who took it. He is 5'8", 195, a sophomore from Columbus.
There we go with the Ohio Northern offense with Quirk at quarterback. The backs are Summers and Garrett. Wide receivers Porter and Lee, and the tight end is Gasser. And up front, it's Bakke, Schwartz, Thomas, Walton, and Russell.
Second down, 7 yards to go. Ball resting at the Ohio Northern 48. Quirk back. Quirk throws and fires down to the Mount Union 30, but there was nobody home, and it will be third down and 7 yards to go.
You could see as he rolled left, kind of tentative with the feet. The field has taken a lot of rain, and it drains very well, but I have a feeling that it's pretty slick out there, and Quirk had some problems with it. Defensively, the Raiders with Brower, Wolf, Wells, and Stickley, with the linebackers of Gibbons and Reese, and the rest of the squad, Watson, Fell, Kostelnik, McDavid, and Whitfield.
3rd and 7. Quirk again, back to pass. And he is greeted and gets away from the initial rush. Throws it downfield, and it is complete to Ross Porter down at the Mount Union 37-yard line.
That was all Quirk there. He did a great job of getting out of the pass rush, and once he got away from there, you knew somebody was going to be open downfield.
And Justin Stickley had a shot at him and did not put him down, and then the very strong quarterback from Ohio Northern wiggled free and made the completion. 1st and 10, Polar Bears are at the Mount Union 37-yard line. Pitch back, and charging through a reasonably good hole on the left side of the line is Derek Garrett, 5'8", 170, a junior from Columbiana.
Garrett with 88 carries, 422 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Got to find a group of running backs on this Polar Bear squad.
2nd and 7. Nice setbacks behind Quirk, and flags fly as the Mount Union Purple Raiders put a couple of guys into the Ohio Northern backfield, but they may have been drawn off.
We're going to see the illegal procedure call made by referee Ken Swanson. He's got a veteran crew with him. Dave Height is the umpire. Head linesman is John Viccarell. The line judge is Tony Montana. We've got Tom Caravan, Mo Wagner, and John Patton rounding out this officiating crew.
Second down now, about 12 yards to go. Ball moved back on the 5-yard penalty. From the 39, Quirk going to keep it. 35 and 30, rolled out on the far side of the field. Quirk picks up big yardage, short of the first down.
Quirk throws the ball and also runs the ball pretty well. We saw an example there of his run. He's got pretty good completion percentages as well. Raiders here decided to play the trail back, and Quirk wisely decided to keep it himself, turned it upfield and got close to the first down. He's going to be about a couple yards shy.
Ken Whitfield was the man who made the stop for the Purple Raiders. 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Ball at the 29-yard line in Mount Union territory. The Polar Bears on the march. Quirk back. Quirk lobs, and it is dropped. The intended receiver, Terry Summers. That'll make it 4th down, and about 2.5 yards to go for the first down.
Well, they're in no man's land here at the 29-yard line. Take another look as Quirk. It's a good play. Summers, I think, once he sees this on film, will say he should have had the football. Just kind of squirmed away from him, and I think the Polar Bears are going to go for a 4th down conversion here.
One of the big plays of the game comes early, 4th and about 3 at the Mount Union 29. Long count, Quirk back, sets up and fires a strike, and it is complete down to the 26-yard line. Caught there by Brian Gasser, a senior from Northwood.
Just enough for the first down. Gasser knew where he had to go. He got there, and Quirk got him the ball. One of the Raider defenders slipped, and I think it was Stickley on the left side. He's trying to get around his man, slipped. That gave Quirk enough time to find his receiver, and the 4th down conversion is converted.
Well, 1st and 10 for the Polar Bears. They opened with an onside kick that was successfully executed, and they have been on the march ever since. Ball at the 26, 1st and 10. Turn and the handoff to Garrett, and then Garrett breaks free and heads down the sideline and just did get out before the end zone at about the 2-yard line.
They're going to mark him out at the 2, and what another nice run, this time by Garrett, who looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage. And how he got out of there, I'm not sure. Stopped stone cold right there into the hole, and then he squirts away, and the Raiders cannot bring him down.
Well, he avoided about 3 or 4 potential tackles and came perilously close to scoring, and now the Polar Bears are down at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal.
Well, one official marked him out at the 1. It looked like the second one was going to mark him out at the 2, and the ball's at the 3.
Pitch and driving to the end zone, and
he's in.
He's in for the touchdown. A slow call.
He should be in. Now here's a flag.
Meadows was the man who took it.
Now we're going to have a discussion.
We're talking with the referee.
I think they're going to rule touchdown, but maybe something after the foul, a dead ball penalty. But,
well, it was R.J. Meadows, the 6', 200-pound freshman from Hendersonville, Tennessee, who found the end zone.
On another fine run, by the way. Looked like he was stopped at the line of scrimmage and wouldn't go down. So Northern playing with some heart here in the early going.
As you knew they would.
Personal foul is going to go against Ohio Northern after the fact. It is a touchdown. Now I suppose the Raiders, I don't know whether you have a choice or not about when this penalty is imposed on the extra point or the kickoff. Presumably not. I suppose they're going to impose the penalty on the kickoff.
Brad Hemphill to attempt the extra point. Drew Harmon holding. The extra point is good. It wasn't a thing of beauty, but it went between the uprights, so it is 7-0 in favor of the Ohio Northern Polar Bears, Harry.
Well, Ohio Northern pulled off the surprise for starters with the onside kick, and then they had some runners who looked like they were dead to rights on a couple of rushes, but kept the legs churning, and this was an impressive drive. It wasn't a pretty drive by any means by Ohio Northern, but what was impressive is how difficult it was to bring these guys down. Look at this second effort by Meadows. And he does get the ball in, and I'm not sure why the call was late. And the flag occurred after the forward progress was stopped in the end zone. But it was against one of the Polar Bears.
I would guess that it was Devin Russell who was nailed with the penalty because the offensive line coach greeted him about 15 yards out onto the gridiron, and he wasn't discussing his grade point average. 12:09 to play in the first period, and they're going to kick off from the Polar Bear 20-yard line. Not a series of decisive tackling in that first drive by Ohio Northern.
We'll have to wrap this team up. Their running backs run hard. It's a very sound, fundamental team, too.
Hemphill kicking off. This is the squib kick that bounces downfield, takes a couple of tricky hops and a bobble at the end of it. And charging up shy of the 40-yard line at the 38. That's
Kamick. Yep.
Kamick,
the freshman. He really distinguished himself against Marietta. Here's the starting lineup offensively for Mount: Joris, eBay, Robinson, Casto, Garcon, and Campbell. And then up front, we have Manning, Blanchard, Safran, Goodwill, and Lewis. Played a lot of football for this to be just the first series for Mount Union.
Joris, the quarterback. Flag on the play, driving ahead over the 45 to the 46, but it may matter not, was Aaron Robinson. Robinson, a junior out of Buffalo, New York.
Actually, I think one of the Polar Bears jumped. I think this will be a fairly easy decision, and I think he'd probably decline this penalty given the fact that it was a 9-yard gain. Still talking it over, though, trying to determine whether they want to take the penalty or decline it.
The first drive by Ohio Northern was 9 plays, 54 yards, and it covered 2 minutes, 51 seconds.
Gave up the yardage and took the down. Robinson with 106 rushes, 629 yards, and 9 touchdowns. He has really come on strong as a primary running back for the Purple Raiders.
Maxwell Smith out wide to the left. Driving ahead again is Robinson to the 45, maybe the 46-yard line. Second down leaves a good long 2 yards to go for the first down. Polar Bears up early in spite of the fact it doesn't say so on the little note on the corner of the TV set. Joris back, and again handing it off to Robinson, and this time Robinson gallops across the 50 and all the way down to the 43-yard line in Ohio Northern Territory.
Now Robinson's greatest asset is his speed, but he has become a little bit more powerful running this year. He's had several carries last year too, but nice job by the offensive line. Good hole created. Robinson finds it and then lowers the shoulder. But get Robinson in the open field, and he's tough to catch.
I attribute his extra strength to being up here with us in the booth last year.
Yeah, in fact, I think he took a couple of your pieces of pizza.
Yes, he did, and held me off with a stiff arm, too, I might add. Joris, the quarterback. And here's Robinson again, dancing for short yardage, picked up a long yard. Down to 10:35 to play in the first period, and Ohio Northern has jumped on top.
Well, Mount's choosing to keep the ball on the ground. We know that they can throw the ball, but to test Ohio Northern a little bit on the ground to see if they can stop the run. Marietta couldn't stop the run last week, so Mount just kept running.
And Robinson, 3 carries already. And Joris gives it to him again. He's at the 40. He's at the 36-yard line and brought down.
A good, strong, almost clothesline. Robinson ducked his head just in time with Rick Dannison making the stop.
They spotted at the 37, and it will be third down, 4 yards to go.
Defensively, Fitzsimmons, Monchin, Bailey, and Tripp up front for Ohio Northern. And Tresnick, Dannison, and Esposito are the backers. And then Hostetler, Robertson, Bennett, and Midlam.
Brandon Boehm out very wide to the right. Turning the backfield, and you know who, bouncing ahead, but not bouncing ahead far enough. Aaron Robinson knocked down at the 35-yard line. That'll be fourth down and still 2 yards to go.
I suspect that the Raiders will go for it here. They certainly have enough confidence in their offense. This is Robinson again. Holds there temporarily, but it gets closed rather quickly by that man right there, Rusty Midlam.
Again, Boehm out very wide to the right. eBay and Robinson in the backfield. Robinson has the first down and a couple more to go with it. They bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line, and first down, 10 yards to go for the Purple Raiders.
Offensive line fired off the ball to create that hole for Robinson, and now Robinson has carried the entire way. He has 6 carries, 28 yards. Here we look again. Nice hole for Robinson, who drags a man another couple of yards, and the Raiders pick up the first down.
First and 10. Back, and the give is to Robinson, and he drives down to the 26, 27-yard line.
You've had it pretty easy so far on Mount's offense, haven't you?
Hey, listen. With the rain on the window and those uniforms, if he keeps one guy with the ball, that's fine for me.
Once again, Aaron Robinson off the right side. Linebacker's doing a nice job of filling the holes, but the defensive, or I should say the offensive line is doing a very fine job.
Joris at quarter on the snap back, pitches it to eBay, and eBay driving down to the 25 and down to the 23-yard line.
Kelechi eBay with 41 rushes, 295 is his yardage, 3 touchdowns, and talk about a guy that's tough to bring down.
5'9", 230 pounds from New Jersey.
This is his kind of weather, I think, given his build. Usually the short guys with the strong legs have fun in this kind of weather.
3rd and 3. Joris hands back and short of the first down. In fact,
yeah, that was Kamik.
Kamik, who drove inside the 25 but was dropped short of first down yardage, leaving it. In fact, they spot the ball back at the 25, so it'll be 4th down and 3 yards to go.
Well, 3rd and short. Kamik gets his first carry, but Northern bottles things up, and he had nowhere to go. Trusnick, number 35, you see a shot of him. He's been in on a lot of tackles so far.
Pitch back to Joris. He rolls, he looks, he throws. It is caught down at the 15-yard line and out of bounds. 1st down for Mount Union.
Brandon Boehm on the reception, and okay, Kostelnik's 9 on defense, but what do we have? Northern's coming off the field. Did he not catch it in bounds?
They may have ruled that he was out of bounds when he caught the ball, although Larry Karras is out on the field. He's not a happy camper.
I thought he made the catch. But Northern is going to take over on downs. Let's take another look. Good job by Northern. Joris wanted to throw it a little sooner. There's the leap, the catch, and he's clearly in bounds.
I have no idea, Harry, how they came up with that.
I don't know, unless they felt he was juggling it, but I...
1st and 10, Brian Lee in motion. They pitch back to R.J. Meadows, and Meadows is nailed at the line of scrimmage. May have picked up a short yard.
Gibbons, who has had a nice season, 56 hits and 12 tackles for loss. That was not a tackle for loss, but it was a nice play. It was a pickup of about a yard for Meadows.
Ball just across the 25, so 2nd down, 9 yards to go. Clock ticking down to 5 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the 1st period. Advantage Ohio Northern thus far. Back to pass is Quirky, fires complete upfield. Caught by Brian Lee, and he's got a 1st down up over the 40. In fact, they'll move it back, put it right on the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Polar Bears.
Lee has caught 25 passes, an average of 18.2 yards per catch. And Quirk, I don't know how he got this one away. It looked like he was going to be leveled here from the blind side, and he just got it away in time. Got enough on it. It did alter his throw, but he got enough on it to get the 1st down.
Adam Quirk at quarter. Turns, rolls, pitches back. Meadows is going to be buried about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage back at the 35. As about half the defense of Mount Union greeted him back there.
Now Gibbons led the way again, and that's going to be another one of those tackles for loss for Gibbons. Meadows with 73 carries for 568 yards and 11 touchdowns coming into this game. we have a flag? There seems to be some discussion going on with the officials. There's referee Swanson. There was a flag somewhere.
There's the walk back. All the way back over the 30, all the way back to the 25-yard line.
Illegal block. Take it back to the 25.
Well, it'll be first down and 25 yards to go.
Vince Karras, son of Larry Karras, is calling out the defensive signals.
4:48 to play of the first period. Work on the pitch back, and Meadows has open country. They'll have to catch him. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, and finally brought down at the 10-yard line by Whitfield.
Whitfield caught him, but what a nice job by the left side of Northern's line to clean out Mount Union and open the alley down the left sideline for Meadows.
It's down to the 7-yard line.
Here's the pitch. Where are the black jerseys? They are mowed down as Meadows takes it down inside the 10. And it's a foot race now. You see Whitfield there, number 17, finally does catch him.
First and goal at the 7-yard line. Wideouts right and left. Quirk turns in his backfield, looks to the end zone, and
almost
the
intercepted.
Ball almost intercepted back there. You're right, Harry.
That was actually Robert McDavid who got his hand on it. That ball was fluttering into the end zone by Quirk. I think, again, he took a little bit of a hit at the end of the play, but let's take another look as Quirk looks into the end zone. Having trouble planting that back foot, so that's why the ball fluttered. And McDavid makes the nice bat away.
Yep. Intended was Ross Porter. So second and goal. Ohio Northern knocking on the door again. Pitch to the near side, caught and knocked down immediately is Ben Whitwer.
Good job by Brian Hoffman, or make that Ryan Fell. Sorry about that. Ryan Fell with the tackle for the Raiders to keep that to a 2-yard gain.
So 3rd and 5 at the 5-yard line.
One more time. Quick little passes have been effective for the Polar Bears, but Fell did a nice job.
Well, Dean Paul has to be very happy with what has transpired here thus far.
It's a great start.
Work, got away from one, still with the ball, belted down, but he had
he's going to
get it down to the 1-yard line. Well, again, he avoided a tackle in the backfield and then came perilously close to putting it in the end zone.
Well, what do you do now? Do you go for 6? I think you do. You're on the road. You're playing a team that has these unbelievable streaks. I don't think you settle for a field goal when you're at the 1-yard line, leading 7-0. And certainly they've moved the ball forward.
And now the timeout taken by Ohio Northern to stop the clock with 3:07 to play in the first period. Harry, the game opens with an onside kick that Ohio Northern successfully executes. They march it downfield and score, and now they're knocking on the door again.
They've been very methodical about their movement, I will say that, and here they are on the 1-yard line again. Right now, D3 football has released its top 5, and Linfield's there at 1, followed by Mount Union, then Hardin-Simmons. Rowan is 4, and St. John's is 5.
Well, Linfield's the defending champion in D3. We're well aware of St. John's and Rowan. We've seen them a number of times over the years.
Enough, that's for sure. But right now, Mount Union has to concern itself with its Ohio Conference foe in Ohio Northern, and they are proven to be a worthy opponent. They lead at 7-0 and looking for more.
Ball at the 1-yard line. At the tight formation. Quirk turns in his backfield, gives to Meadows, and he drives it off right tackle into the end zone. And it is now 13-0 Ohio Northern.
Well, right side of that Northern line just opened up the gate. Meadows had no problem getting through it. Quirk hands. You see a good shot of just the nice hole and how quickly Meadows was able to hit the hole, and now Northern will try to go up by 2 full scores here, 14-0 if he makes the extra point.
And Hempel drives this one through the uprights, and it is 14-0. Ohio Northern with the lead in the first period at Mount Union. 3:04 still to be played.
Now this announcement across the stadiums in the OAC will bring the oohs and ahs, but we all know that these things are usually marathons and not sprints, but not many teams can get ahead of Mount Union by a couple of touchdowns. And one more shot, nice goal line angle of the touchdown by Meadows. And again, Ohio Northern hasn't done anything spectacular, but they've just done some wonderful things as they've been hit by defenders. They've been able to bounce off slip tackles and make nice gains. And as a result, they've got the 2-touchdown lead.
It's one thing to give Marietta a 7-0 lead. It's another thing when it's Ohio Northern up by 2 scores in the first period.
Now you're in for an uphill battle. And as the weather, continues to be a factor, it's raining, those kinds of things, you just never know. You always want to be ahead when the weather conditions are the way they are.
Hempel will be kicking. Still 3:04 to play in the first period. Another squib kick. It's by eBay and is finally retrieved down at the 15-yard line. It is Kamick running with it, and he is able to get up over the 25 to about the 27, 28-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go.
Well, Mountain kept it on the ground primarily. One ball they put in the air, I'm still puzzled by it. I'm not sure exactly why they had to give the ball up on downs anyway. It looked like a reception from the naked eye through the binoculars and on the replay, but it just didn't happen. Otherwise, they've managed 36 yards on the ground.
That last drive, 7 plays, 76 yards for Ohio Northern. Joris puts eBay in motion, gives the ball to Robinson, and he blows all the way up over the 40 to the 45-yard line before he is finally wrestled down, but it's a first down for the Mount Union Purple Raiders. He was finally retrieved by Wes Hostetler, a senior out of Strasburg, Ohio.
Left side fires out of there. The lane is created for Robinson, and he gets there quickly. Almost took it the distance.
Maxwell Smith out wide to the right. eBay in motion. Give to Robinson, and he finds another 5 yards up to midfield. Second down, and actually he got 6 yards, so good. Second down and 4 yards to go with 2:19 and counting in the first period at Mount Union.
9 carries, 53 yards for Aaron Robinson there in the early going. But the important statistic is Ohio Northern leads at 14-0.
Castile out wide to the left. Given the backfield again to Robinson. This time he is nailed right at the line of scrimmage.
With the horse collar was Rick Dannison. Looked like there was a hole here, but Dannison came up and met him, grabbed him around the shoulders and dragged him down.
The linebackers play for Ohio Northern today thus far has been outstanding. Well, they spread it out all over the field. Joris will work out of the shotgun. 3rd and 4. Joris is hit and buried back at the 43-yard line.
He wanted to go short off to his left, but that lane was covered nicely, and Lenny Trusnick came in, and just as Joris was ready to go to the second choice, he didn't have a choice. There's the pump fake, and then he has to eat it, and Mount has to kick it away.
52 seconds still to be played in the first period. And the punt is coming down at the 45, and it rolls out of bounds, or at the 35, and it rolls out of bounds at the 30. So it is first down and 10 yards to go for Ohio Northern, and we have seen a lot of their offense thus far in the first period, and it's looked very good thus far.
It has. Mount spotting Ohio Northern 2 touchdowns and not able to get the ball in the end zone themselves, a kind of a rare occurrence of late.
Quarterback Adam Quirk. Ball is resting at the Ohio Northern 31, 1st and 10. Quirk turns in his backfield and hands off, driving ahead for the Polar Bears.
That was Garrett.
It'll be second down and 6 yards to go. May not get another playoff. The clock is ticking down through the final 10 seconds of the first period. The first quarter has very definitely belonged to the Polar Bears. They take a 14-0 lead into the second period here at Mount Union Stadium on a very soggy Saturday afternoon.
14-0 Ohio Northern. And we'll be back right after this. Back at Mount Union Stadium, Northern leading at 14-0, and the Polar Bears with the football.
Work at quarterback. Every time Ohio Northern has touched the football, they've done good things with it. The pitch outside, and a spinning tackle administered by Ryan Fell. Garrett was the carrier, but he got zipped. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Big hit by Fell. Stickley almost got to Quirk here before he was able to pitch it. Does manage to pitch it, but then Fell comes up and makes this nice tackle.
3rd down, 4 yards to go. Almost 5. Ball at the Ohio Northern 36. Work back to pass, little flare pass outside. It is caught, and running short yardage is again Derek Garrett, but he'll leave him short of the first down. 4th down and about 3 yards to go. And for the first time today, we'll see Ohio Northern punting the football.
Yeah, they've converted some 4th downs, but this time they're going to have to punt it away. Garrett out of the backfield. Now watch as he gets hit. It looks like he almost slips this tackle. That's what I'm saying. Ohio Northern is playing with an extra gear here this afternoon, not going down easily.
Extra oomph.
Right.
They seem to have the ability to break initial tackles and gain extra yardage. That one's a one-hopper, and the punter, Brian Lee, gets it away. It's retrieved at the 34-yard line on a fair catch, and the ball will go over to Mount Union. There was Scott Casto who took it on the fair catch. Will be first down, 10 yards to go, and Mount Union desperately in need of some offensive showing here to even up the ball game thus far in terms of the emphasis, because it's been all Ohio Northern thus far.
Let's see if the first defensive stop that's been made will ignite the offense here.
Joris at quarterback fires a strike, and it is intercepted if he was inbounds, and he was. First and 10 for Ohio Northern at the 45-yard line.
Well, they overthrew it, and Midlam was there to pick it off, and the only question was whether he stayed in.
Rusty Midlam is a senior out of Mount Orab, and he joins the Ohio Northern Hero Parade here today.
Joris goes up top, but overthrows his receiver, and Midlam comes down with it, evidently inbounds.
Quirk at quarterback.
Oh yeah, there's no question about it from that angle. He was in.
Starting at the 45, a handoff, and driving for short yardage is Meadows, I believe, and it will be second down at about 8 yards to go. And this has been a real shocker for a lot of the folks sitting across the way under the covered stands.
Yeah, they're nice and comfortable with this rain pouring down, but well, Northern's kind of comfortable too, aren't they? Comfortable in their offense and defense so far.
Then Whitwer goes out to the left side. Quirk looks over the defense. Fires out to Whitwer, who's got it close to a first down. By the time he is twisted to the turf, the spot of the ball will determine whether it is a first down for Ohio Northern.
I think they gave him a generous spot, which might be enough.
It is enough. Everything's going for the Polar Bears right now.
It really is, because look how he stretches the ball, but look how his knee comes down before he stretches the ball. Very generous spot.
First and 10, the ball back in Mount Union territory and in the possession of the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern. They're playing some inspired football here today. Brian Lee comes out wide to the right. Porter to the left. We have movement and we have flags. And
This is a tough call. It looked like one of the linemen lifted just as the Raider was going across the line, so I don't know whether they're going to go with the illegal procedure, or in fact I think there's a disagreement among the officials on what should be called here. Referee Swanson seems pretty sure of himself, as he's going to call offside against Mount Union.
So they'll take the 5-yard hike, and it'll be first and 5 at the Mount Union 40. Well, the Polar Bears came to play today, folks, and they have put together everything you would want in a winning effort, especially on the road. Ross Porter to the left. And the handoff as Meadows is caught and dropped. He finally squirmed back to the line of scrimmage. There's another flag, however. The line judge pointing in the direction of the Polar Bears. And they're talking to Mount Union. 12 minutes, 17 seconds to play in the first half. And illegal procedure against the Polar Bears. And the umpire will take another 5-yard walk in the opposite direction.
Reviewing some of the stats for Ohio Northern, Quirk is 6 of 9 for 42 yards passing. R.J. Meadows with 5 carries, 75 yards. And Derek Garrett with 4 carries for 31 yards. They're putting up some pretty nice numbers on a Mount Union defense that has been outstanding up to now.
1st and 10. Quirk on the pitch back to Meadows, dances along the line of scrimmage and never got there. He was hauled down on the far side of the football field.
McDavid made the nice play. Meadows that time I think made a kind of a questionable choice, trying to take it to the outside. Here's the pitch coming to him. He kind of jukes inside, but instead goes outside, and there just wasn't anything there. It's easy to see from up here and on the replay. What he sees, of course, is quite different.
2nd and 10. Whiteouts right and left. Garrett and Meadows are the setbacks. The pitch back is to Meadows, and he is able to fight his way down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line, greeted down there by Buddy Wolf, the senior out of Brunswick. 3rd down, 7 yards to go. .10:49 and counting in the 2nd period. 14-0. Turn on your TV set and see that score. That is not a misprint. That's for real, folks. Adam Quirk goes back to air it out, throws to Meadows, and Meadows is greeted and is knocked down. The initial hit made by Mike Gibbons, and he held on to Meadows long enough for friends and neighbors to come up and make sure he stayed down.
Excellent defensive work by Gibbons. That play was, if he beats Gibbons, this is big trouble for Mount Union. As it was designed to be a screen. Raiders did do their overcommit there, but boy, Gibbons had to make sure he wasn't going to let go, and he hung on long enough to get the help.
Brian Lee back to punt at his own 45-yard line on a 4th and 7. Lee had his punt blocked. Ball on the turf and recovered, now picked up by Mount Union.
Well, I don't know if that should be allowed, but I think they are going to allow it. It is a touchdown.
Matt Kostelnik picked up the ball and took it to the end zone, and they are going to allow it. Well, why not? They disallowed that pass.
That's right.
This is turnabout's fair play.
We'll take it. Actually, it looked like one of the Raiders had actually covered it with his knee down. That's why I was saying what I was saying. But that might not have been the case. Kostelnik came out of there with the ball, with the footing, and not with his knees down. So it's going to be a touchdown on the block punt. Now that's what I'm talking about there. But evidently there wasn't possession. No, there wasn't. That was the right call by the official, and he was looking right at it. And a nice return for the Raiders. That's the break they needed.
Zimmerman with the extra point, and he drives it where it counts, and it is 14-7. Ohio Northern. Stickley blocked it, and Kostelnik ran it in.
Now, the Raiders needed a lift. Northern had dominated up to now, and they got the block punt. Stickley getting in there. Take another look. Stickley comes in and gets all ball. And that's where the ball squirts out of there. Yep, absolutely. That's what happened, and it's a touchdown for the Raiders. There was no possession while the ball was squirting around, and they get the 6 and the extra point.
Adam Kostelnik is a sophomore from Avon Lake. And Mount Union has its first moment of sunshine on an otherwise soggy Saturday afternoon here in Alliance, Ohio.
42 yards officially on the return of the block punt.
Well, now we'll see just what kind of a lift this gives to the Purple Raiders, because it has been an Ohio Northern afternoon up until that block punt. Zimmerman will kick off. Mike is 5'10", 160 from Archbold, Ohio. Back deep for the Polar Bears, Wes Hostetler. And also back there with him is Rusty Midlam. It's a high, short kick and retrieved out of the air by one of the up men, Adam Bogner.
I think it was up there high enough that Bogner felt like he needed to fair catch it. It's one form of an onside kick that's often taught. If you get the ball high enough in the air and the person who is receiving it chooses not to call for the fair catch, actually the kicking team can run under it and catch it themselves. So the wise call there is to call for the fair catch.
Line of scrimmage for Ohio Northern will be just shy of their own 28-yard line. Quirk at quarter. Then they have Meadows out to the near sideline. Turning the backfield, a handoff, and I believe it might have been Garrett, but he went nowhere.
Yeah, I couldn't tell it was Garrett because he was buried. It was actually Summers, Terry Summers on the carry. And it was Gibbons again. Boy, Gibbons is all over the field here in this first half.
Second down, 9 yards to go.
Raider defense getting a little infusion of enthusiasm here as a result of the block punt and having the score from 14 zip to 14-7.
Whitwer and Lee are the wideouts. Adam Quirk back to throw. He's going to throw, and it is caught at the 35, and the put down is at the 37 as Brian Lee picks up yardage. Probably good for the first down. Very close to it.
It is close. It might be close enough to measure.
They are going to measure. Oh, the referee gave it the old eagle eye and says first down, 10 yards to go for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears. Quirk's had a pretty fair afternoon to throw on the football, 8 of 11 for 50 yards.
And they'll throw to backs, they'll throw to receivers. They feature the running game, but Quirk keeps people honest with his arm.
First and 10. Polar Bears at their own 38, given the backfield and driving up over the 40 to the 42-yard line is Meadows. Nope, let's see, is that right?
That's Garrett.
That was Garrett. Second down, pick up a play of about 4 yards. Porter goes out to the left side. Whitwer to the near side as we look at it here from the eastern stands. Quirk back. Little flare pass outside. It is caught, and Garrett is able to get up over the 40. But when you look at it, it's still a loss of about 2 yards, so it'll leave them third down and a long 7 with 7 minutes to play in the first half.
And I like to throw that little flare out to Garrett, and just when it looks like he's got a little bit of running room, the Raiders have been closing quickly. This has not worked too well so far for Ohio Northern.
Lee to the left, Porter to the right. Now Lee in motion. Quirk's going to air it out, and it is caught over the 50 at the 48-yard line by Ross Porter, who slid out of bounds after the catch, but Ohio Northern has another first down.
Again, not a pretty pass, but Porter wide open, and he's able to just keep the feet down to pick up the first down. Quirk with a lot of wobble in this throw, but Porter running the sideline, and I think he's in.
All just shy of the Mount Union 48.
Officials are having, they got their work cut out for them on the sidelines. There have been some close calls.
Quirk back, keeps 45, shirt collar tackle, and down at the 42-yard line.
Stickley got him by the pads.
Kenny Whitfield made sure he didn't go any further. There's the oops, gotcha. Well, third down, 3 yards to go, 5:55 to play of the first half. Ohio Northern has given Mount Union all they can handle.
Well, this is impressive because this is coming off of the touchdown that Mount scored suddenly, and now here's Northern driving the ball.
Pitch back to Garrett. Garrett fights his way for the line of scrimmage, and he may not even have returned to the original line before he was belted down.
It was Matt Reese making the stop for Mount. Dover, Ohio product. Another look at this. Too slow to develop. Garrett wanted to go inside. Now he tries to go outside, but Reese makes sure he goes nowhere.
3rd and 4. Line of scrimmage, the Mount Union 43-yard line. A good deal of this game thus far has been played on the Mount Union side of the 50. Work. Another flare pass outside to Garrett, and he goes skidding out. We've got a flag thrown down at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, this is going to be an illegal block, I think, on Northern. He's going to be just short of the first down on a 3rd down play. So it's going to be decision time here. I think if this is a major penalty, I think you have to take the yardage.
Kostelnik immediately pointed in the direction of Ohio Northern when that flag threw.
It's illegal use of hands against Ohio Northern, and they are going to mark it off.
Well, this one puts a bit of a crimp in the offense because it'll move it back to 3rd down and 13 yards to go.
Now, the last time Northern had a long yardage situation, though, they made it count. They pitched it to Meadows, and he took it down inside the 10. So see if Dean Paul thinks Lightning can strike twice.
Pupil's doing pretty good today.
Yes, he is.
Against the old mentor. Work at quarter. He's going to air it out, and he's got a man wide open and down at the 30-yard line. That was Lee.
Boy, Quirk got buried as he threw that, and he's too slow to get up, but he made the completion. He's hurt.
Oh, it'll be 1st and 10 for Ohio Northern.
Once again, Quirk somehow gets this pass off just in time, just as Stickley hits him. But his man is, again, so wide open that ball's able to hang up there seemingly forever.
Stelnick finally put him down, but the damage had been done. The ball is at the Mount Union 30. 1st down, 10 yards to go. Quirk remains in the ball game. And the give is to Garrett, and he's fighting for short yardage down to about the 27-yard line.
McCullough on the stop for Mount Union.
Tackled by McCullough. Patrick McCullough is a 5'11", 246-pound sophomore from Wyoming, Michigan.
Mount scored their touchdown with 9:29 remaining. We're down to 3:45 remaining in the first half. This has been a ground-chewing, time-consuming drive, and if Northern puts points on the board, it's that's icing on the cake because they've got the lead.
Whitwer and Lee wide left and right. Kirk gonna pitch back, and that's Meadows to the 25 down to the 24-yard line. 3rd down and 4 yards to go.
down and 5.
Back into the ball game for Ohio Northern with Ross Porter. Brings the play in from Dean Paul. 3:20 to go at 3rd and 4. Ohio Northern again operating in Mount Union territory. There seems to be some confusion at this point. And they're going to take a timeout. Ohio Northern will take time. 3:20 to play in the first half. With the ball deep into Mount Union territory, they want to make sure they get things right for this next play on a 3rd and 4.
Pretty critical down. By the way, as we look at the stats, R.J. Meadows with 8 carries for 80 yards to lead the way for Northern. And as far as Aaron Robinson has 10 carries for 53 yards for Mount. Now, coming into this game, the Raider run defense was only allowing 44.3 yards per game. So that gives you an idea of how well Ohio Northern has executed here in this game.
They have picked up almost 100 yards more than that in the first half.
We've got them for 20 rushes for 143 yards. Mount with 13 rushes for 49 yards. But it's the number of plays, 34 plays to 15 plays.
Here comes the 3rd and 4 at the Mount Union 24-yard line. It's Lee in motion.
There's Meadows.
Meadows gonna break free, go all the way.
He just keeps breaking tackles.
20-7. Now that eradicates the sting of the block punt. And Dean Paul is a very happy camper right now on the sidelines for Ohio Northern.
Well, Mount's just unable to wrap up these ball carriers. This is on the delay. Hole opens up. He's got 2 people who have a very good shot at him and then gets through that and scores.
All right, the kick by Hemphill is one that just again snuck through the uprights. And Ohio Northern has a convincing 21-7 lead over the Purple Raiders with still 3:12 to play in the first half.
Well, what was impressive about that was, yes, they, converted when they needed to. They made some big plays in the drive, but this momentum swing just wasn't allowed to happen. Mount makes the big block, scores the touchdown. You think, okay, here comes Mount Union, but Ohio Northern answers that with a great drive that consumed 6 minutes and 17 seconds, and they result in a touchdown and a 21-7 lead. What's most impressive, though, is how these runners are seemingly stopped after short yardage and somehow squirt out of the tackle. And I don't know if that's a function of the slick conditions, Mount's defense not able to wrap up the ball carrier, or just second effort, or combination of everything. But I think Ohio Northern is playing at a different level than they've been playing all season long. This is a team that's possessed here so far in the first half.
And they possess a 21-7 lead. Kickoff coming. Hemphill will boot it. He again drives one on the bounce downfield. Picked up at the 30-yard line, and about a 2-yard return, as that bouncy kickoff has worked out very well, thank you, for Ohio Northern after they had an onside kick to start the ball game. J.J. Dietz was the man who actually grabbed the football, the junior from Willard. But by the time he got a handle on it, the Ohio Northern football team was surrounding him, and he had next to no return. So it's 1st and 10. And the give is to Aaron Robinson, who's been the workhorse, and he picks up 9 of the 10 yards needed for a first down. Robinson just keeps grinding out the yards.
It's just that Mount's offense just has not had the ball that much here in the first half. When they've had it, they've picked up yardage, but the offense really hasn't scored out of it. The 7 points, the result of the special team play or the block punt that resulted in the touchdown.
eBay and Robinson in the backfield, and Kelechi eBay in motion. Back to throw is Joris, and now he is going to run. He has the first down and is put out of bounds at about the 45, 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for Mount Union, and by going out of bounds, he stops the clock with 2:18 to play.
Joris's stats, 117 for 172 for 1,781 yards and 18 touchdowns coming in. And right now he's got stats are 0 for 2 with an interception, so that is interesting. Still a long way to go, but Mount finds itself in an unfamiliar situation. Down on their home field in an OAC game, 21-7.
Scott Casto out wide to the right. And the give is, he fakes to Robinson and airs it out downfield. Casto's got it down at the 15-yard line.
Great fake. That's what made the play. And then Joris with an excellent throw and a good catch by Casto. Boy, that just, everything worked well on that play. From the end zone, we get a better view of it. There's the fake. And Joris airs it out. Casto flying down the field. Had to wait on it just a little bit, but made a good catch.
Ball is spotted at the 17-yard line. 1st and 10 for Mount Union. Correct snap back to Joris. Gives to Robinson, running wide right at the 15, at the 10, at the 5, and it's a touchdown.
Boy, he had to tiptoe down the sideline, but he did it. He stayed in bounds, and it is a touchdown.
Aaron Robinson, he has been the main man today for the Mount Union Purple Raiders.
A little misdirection by the Raiders on the play, and Robinson, who's a guy that has been carrying the freight here, showed his speed there and also his dexterity. His enemy here was the sideline. He got Northern committed the other way. He just had to beat, he had to get the corner, which he did. And then it's just a matter of hanging in there, which he was able to do.
That was a Carl Walenda. And they're going for 2. And I don't believe they got it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they did. Or what? Wait a minute. What? Did they rule that he stepped out?
They must have, because Harry.
One official signaled touchdown.
Two
Clearly.
of them signaled touchdowns.
Oh my!
And there's the coaching staff from Mount Union in shocked disbelief. So the carry by Robinson gets it down to the 3-yard line. Robinson again dancing, and he's hit very hard at the 2.
Boy, I'll tell you.
Rick Dannison makes another teeth-shattering hit. And now there's going to be a timeout called. Boy, I had that one chalked up for 6 and trying to add to the stats.
Why wouldn't we? We saw the official signal touchdown, and there was no other counter indication.
Well, we've seen 2 calls today that defy description.
Well, they do, and they've happened on the far side over in the covered stands on the Mount Union side of the field.
Now a timeout is called with 49 seconds to go.
I think we have another camera angle here on the Robinson run. Again, there's the 10. Tiptoe. Official looking right at it.
And signaled touchdown. You don't see him in your picture, but he signaled touchdown when Robinson got to the end zone. One of the other officials out at about the 5 signaled touchdown. I figured 2 guys with their arms raised, it's either a hold up or a TD. And the next thing you know, they waved it off and put it back at the 4. And now the Ohio Northern Polar Bears trying to hold out the Purple Raiders with the ball at the 2-yard line. 3rd down. Goal to go. Yeah, when they lined up, I thought they were going for 2
Well,
points. I couldn't figure out why, but
I was with you on it. I was actually watching the replay to have it confirmed.
well, they're going to reset the clock. Shows 49 seconds as we gaze at it through the raindrops.
Well, this crew has had their hands full in the first half.
It's been an adventure. Ball is still sitting in the rain at the 2, and now the referee is coming over toward the near side of the field to attempt to get here comes one of the other officials over to.
Now they're going to try to get the headsets and maybe communicate what they want to communicate to the press box here.
Yes, the offensive line coach.
And I think that would have been the thing he should have done in the first place, was just put a 5 and a 1 up there, and I think scoreboard operator might have known that.
Offensive line coach didn't want to give up his headset. 51 seconds. The numbers, the most important numbers, 3rd down, 2 yards to go for Mount Union. Knocking on the Ohio Northern door. Ohio Northern up by a 21-7 score just less than a minute before halftime. And it is Robinson, and he is at the goal line.
Looks like he's going to be short. It looked like he might have surged in and then got pushed out, and that's what the officials are going to rule. They're not making anything easy today. Holy cow. Well, let's see. Does Robinson get in from our point of view? Hard to tell.
I think they got that one right, Harry.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think he made it to the goal line. Well, now it's 4th down and less than a yard to go.
They're going to run it all the way down, aren't they? Make this the final play of the half.
Leaving 5 seconds to go, and Mount Union takes a timeout with 5 seconds to go. Aaron Robinson now has 15 carries, 78 yards. We all thought he had a touchdown moments ago, but that was eradicated. So Mike Joris, who's put up some outstanding passing numbers this year, 1 for 3, 38 yards, and an interception in the first half.
One more shot at Robinson trying to get the ball in the end zone. Looks like he's got some momentum, but boy, nice job by Northern to stop him. And it's anybody's guess.
All afternoon long, number 55, Rick Dannison, the 6'2", 230-pound senior linebacker from Roseville, Ohio, has been in on almost every play. He has been a bulwark on that Ohio Northern defense, which will now be called upon to stop Mount Union with 5 seconds to go in the first half of the ball, shy of the goal line by about half the length of the football. Joris to Robinson. He didn't make it. They got him that time, no doubt about it. The man who led the attack was Lenny Kresnik, a sophomore from Macedonia, played at Nordonia High, and that makes it 1 second to go, 21-7 in favor of the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern.
Huge defensive work here by Ohio Northern. Mount thought they had the touchdown. Northern said, hey, you're 3 yards short. I should say the officials said you're 3 yards short, and then Northern took it from there. Robinson never a chance on that play.
And now Ohio Northern's going to take a timeout. Well, you talk about a pumped up bunch. This Ohio Northern football team is virtually frothing at the mouth here at halftime.
Well, and as a result of the onside kick, you know, they're going to get the ball to begin the third quarter, too. They've got a 2-touchdown lead, and they'll have the ball. I don't suppose Dean Paul has something up his sleeve here, man.
Well, Ohio Northern comes out with a final play of the first half, although the way things have been going in the first half, that cannot even be for sure. In fact, the ball is at the 2. Long count by Quirk, and he just stands up, and that's the end of the first half. And Ohio Northern has really put together a convincing first half, leading 21-7. Harry?
There you have it, 21-7 at the half, and we'll be back with the second half of action right after this. We're back at Mount Union Stadium, where Mount Union College finds itself in a very unfamiliar spot. In fact, they haven't trailed at halftime since the Stag Bowl against St. John's, and that says volumes about what Ohio Northern has been accomplishing here in the first half. And as we look at the first half statistics and the time of possession and all of those things, boy, Mount Union, it's as if the columns are reversed. Northern with 10 first downs to Mount's 7. The rushing yardage, Northern with 167 to 74, 82 to 38 in passing yards. And Mount has turned it over once, and Northern hasn't turned it over at all. So it's been that kind of a first half. Ohio Northern on top, 21-7. And Mount Union will be kicking off because Northern was kicking off to begin the game, got a squib, and actually debatable whether it was an onside kick or whether it was just a squib that bounced off a Mount Union up man, and Northern recovered. But now it's Mount kicking off, down 2 touchdowns on its home field in an Ohio Athletic Conference game.
Mike Zimmerman's kick, end over end shot coming down to the 21-yard line. Picked up there by Rusty Midland, and he is able to get up to the 30. And Harry, it is raining twice as hard now as it did in the first half.
Yeah, all the more reason to have the lead on days like today, because teams that have the lead tend to get, they get the advantage when the inclement weather hits. That's been pretty bad all day long here.
You know, given the way that Ohio Northern is kicked off during this game, that probably was not an onside kick. It was just a squib kick that went wrong.
All of them have been squibs. Here's Quirk's stats. You saw him there momentarily. 11 out of 14 passing. And he's made them count.
First and 10, 30. Handoff and boom. Into the backfield with a jarring tackle was Buddy Wolf. And that'll cost him about 2 yards.
Don't think the defense is unhappy with the first half performance. Wolf is trying to create a point early here in the second half.
Well, spotted at the 29. Out to the right goes Ben Whitwer. And Lee goes in motion from the near side. Quirk in the backfield, hands off to Meadows, and Meadows gets to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
And it was Wolf again who was waiting for him.
Mike DeMatteis also told me at halftime the last time Mount Union trailed by 2 touchdowns at halftime was against John Carroll in 1998 right here, and then Mount came back and won the ball game 21-14.
That's right, that was a 14-0. I remember we did that game.
Yes, we did. Third down, 11 yards to go. Adam Quirk quarterbacking for the Polar Bears. And back to air it out, and runs out of space, time, and targets.
Now in the first half, Quirk's out of the tackle, running downfield, throwing up a wounded duck that gets caught for 55 yards. So there's the difference right there. in the second half. Mount comes out and wraps him up, and it's 3 and out for Ohio Northern. Nice job by the defense. They made sure. Quirk still trying hard to get out of those tackles. It takes 3 guys to bring him down, but at least Mount Union does get the sack.
So on a 4th and 19, Brian Lee to punt the football. Gets it way up in the air.
It's a good one.
Castro catches it on the dead run, got to the sideline and stepped out at the Mount Union 36-yard line. That's where the Purple Raiders will take over 1st and 10. But at least on the initial series, Harry, the defense looks like they have righted themselves.
Yes, it does. Now the offense needs to do its job. The wind has become a factor. It was kind of swirling before. Actually, it was probably going across the field more than it was north to south. But now we're starting to see a little bit more of a northerly flow, which would put Mount Union into the wind. And Joris 1 for 3 for 38 yards for the Raiders.
Pierre Garcon, that had been sidelined with a leg problem, is in the game, but the handoff is to eBay, and eBay pounds his way across the 50 down to the Ohio Northern 43-yard line.
Well, eBay, who carried once for 4 yards in the first half, gets a big carry on the first play from scrimmage for Mount Union here in the second half. Nothing tricky here. Nice hole. eBay then cuts it to the right side. A swipe at the ball is attempted, and he's able to hang on. So eBay gets the first down and Mount's on the move.
Ball just over the 44. Joris hands off to eBay, and eBay pounds his way down to the 36-yard line.
Ooh, eBay's having trouble getting up, or did he just slip down? Just slipped.
Appears to be all right.
Again, we've got people going all over the place, but the lane is created for eBay to pick up about 8 on the play.
Pierre Garcon, who did not see action in the first half and was listed as questionable for today because of that leg problem. You can see that Garcon, when he shows up in your picture, has that right leg pretty well taped between the ankle and the knee. Back to pass. Joris fires a strike. It is caught at the 23, the 20, and down to the 16-yard line. And again, it's Casto with the grab.
Casto in the middle of the field. He works the sidelines and often will juke to the left and come across the middle. That's what he did on this pattern. And Joris kept the ball low. And a nice pitch and catch. Casto trying to pick up some extra yardage. Did manage to pick up about 3 or 4 more yards after the catch.
Pierre Garcon is out of the ball game now. They'll bring Casto to the right. Going out wide to the left is Maxwell Smith. Joris hands the ball to Robinson. He's at the 20 and he is down. Good defensive recovery for the Polar Bears by Wes Hostetler.
Well, that's the play that went for the alleged touchdown that didn't happen at the end of the first half, that ended up making life miserable for the Raiders at the end of the first half.
So it's second down and 11 yards to go. Smith wide left. Coming out on the right side is Greg Browerwell. Back to throw is Joris. He's being chased and he is caught from behind by the guy who has played a demon game on defense today, number 55, Rick Dannison.
Dannison with the big tackle. Joris was his own worst enemy there, though. He slipped once, and then as he was going to his left, he tripped again, and then guess who was there? Dannison to finish him off. Good coverage downfield. Joris cannot hit anybody. Rolling to his left, wants to throw right, but as he tries to set his feet, they go out from under him, and boy, these field conditions are affecting the players out there now. It continues to rain hard here at Mount Union Stadium.
They spread them out. Got 3 wideouts to the right. And it's Robinson in the backfield with Joris, who flips one to Robinson at the 30 and falls forward to the 26-yard line. And that will leave it third down and about 18 yards to go. Fourth down, make it. Fourth down, 18 yards to go.
Well, they're trying to get part of it back here, and they do get some of it, but it didn't go for as much as Mount would have liked. And boy, on fourth down and long, the Raiders are going to have to go for it.
Pierre Garcon back in the ball game, wide right. Maxwell Smith goes out to the left. eBay back in the backfield next to Joris at quarter. Joris going to try to go for all the marbles, and it's intercepted in the end zone.
Flags.
Flag on the play, running it out of the end zone and still on his feet is number 30, Rusty Midlam, but there is a flag back in the end zone.
Actually, 2 flags thrown in the end zone. And let's see what we have.
Well, the ball is spotted at the Ohio Northern 9-yard line with 8:48 to go, and whatever the flag was, it was evidently against the Purple Raiders.
We're going to get offensive pass interference against Mount, which is declined. The interception holds, and Northern takes over.
They've got it first and 10 at their own 9-yard line. Northern has also operated today out of some very good field position.
That's interesting. I don't know where that flag came from. It's irrelevant. The interception was made.
Lee in motion. Adam Quirk, the quarterback, back to the goal line, flips it out here to R.J. Meadows, and Meadows scampers ahead for what appears to be a first down, up over the 20-yard line to the 21, first and 10.
Nice call there. Raiders aggressive on defense, and they just flip it to Meadows on the screen, and he picks up the first down. Meadows good for 104 yards rushing in the first half on 9 carries.
Ohio Northern leading 21-7 with 8.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Lee again in motion. Quirk pitches it back, and it's Meadows got to the line of scrimmage, and that was about it.
Kostelnik in on the stop.
Correction, Meadows on the carry. Back on the play by Jesse Well.
Meadows, who's had a good afternoon, took the deep pitch, but the Raiders were able to fight off the offensive lineman of the Polar Bears to make that stop right at the line of scrimmage.
Second and 10. Jerry Summers is out to the near sideline. Quirk back to throw. That flare pass again is caught by Meadows at the 20, and he is able to pick up a yard or two up to about the 23, where it will be third down and 8 yards to go. Well, the Mount Union offense has yet to deliver a TD today.
Good point. The 7 on the board was the block punt returned for a touchdown. This play to Garrett has kept Mount Union's defense honest, but it hasn't done much.
Third down, 8 yards to go.
Why is our play stopped here?
Because a Mount Union Purple Raider was shaken up.
Oh, right.
Ross Watson goes over to the sideline.
Oh, that's one of the fine defensive backs in the conference.
Put the ball down at the 24-yard line, leaving third down and a long 7. The whistles toot. 6:54 to play. The play clock still shows 10, so it's a timeout call. Mount Union calls the timeout with matter of 6:54 to play in the third quarter, and as you can see, it's Ohio Northern having all the better of it, 21-7. R.J. Meadows scored twice, one on a 3-yard run, one on a 1-yard run, both in the first quarter. The Raiders came back on a Kostelnik 42-yard block punt return, but then Meadows scored again on a 24-yard run with 3:12 to play in the first half to give them the 2-touchdown advantage again. Third down, +7. Quirk comes into the Ohio Northern huddle. And they spread it out. Porter and Lee to the left side. Meadows is the lone setback. And Quirk fakes to him and then throws, and the pass is batted down by Kostelnik. Stickley make that. Justin Stickley. He was the 6'1", 234 senior from Massillon Jackson. And that leaves him 4th and 7.
Stickley gets in the passing lane here, and we've seen him actually pick off this kind of a pass. He's really got good hands. Gets up there high, and this time he bats it down. But we've actually seen him pick off a pass point blank like that and run it in the end zone. That would have been a nice lift for the Raiders, but as it is, at least they're forcing Northern to punt the ball.
Lee will punt from around his own 10-yard line. Gets the ball and got it up in the air. Nice spiral kick. Casto back at his own 31, 35 and 40, runs out of bounds, and a flag flies.
That's the right call. Bad block. Wasn't even necessary because Casto had gotten the corner. But as he did turn the corner, one of his blockers got a little bit rambunctious and threw an illegal block.
When things go wrong, Harry, sometimes it just all goes wrong.
Just snowballs, doesn't it?
Yep. It was a great punt.
It is. Now again, the wind, he got that up in the jet stream, and the wind's pushing it to the east. Casto has to get it. He's got the corner. This block's not even necessary, but it is an illegal block. Official right on it, threw the flag, and pushes the Raiders back inside their 25-yard line.
First down, 10 yards to go. Mount Union at their own 22.
Joris.
It is Joris keeping, and Joris picking up yardage up over the 30 to the 33-yard line. He's very close, if not in first down territory, and he is first down and 10. Good fake to eBay, and then Joris kept it himself.
Well, all afternoon long, they've been giving it to that back, whether it's eBay or Robinson. And good fake allowed Joris to pick up yardage. Took a pretty good hit after picking up the first down.
First down, 10 yards to go. The Purple Raiders down by 2 touchdowns. Joris moves back. Oh, he wasn't ready for it. The ball was loose, recovered by Ohio Northern. And folks, it's beginning to look a little more dreary here with every passing moment for the Purple Raiders, because they have done just about everything they could do wrong, and that was another example.
That was just a flat-out miscue between center and quarterback. Joris was still trying to bark out the signals, and all of a sudden the ball is jettisoned back to him. He wasn't looking for it.
And he didn't get it either.
No, he didn't.
Ohio Northern first and 10 at the Mount Union 30-yard line. This is like throwing raw meat to a starving dog. They are really getting in the swing of things now on the Polar Bear side of the gridiron. In the backfield, it's Quirk back. Quirk's going to run 30, 25, and tripped up and knocked down at about the 23, 24-yard line.
That was draw all the way. Quirk had, he looked downfield just to make it look good, but again, he figured they'd be coming after him and tucked it under and picked up nice yardage.
Kostelnik tripped him up. Second down, and about 2 yards to go, along one actually, with the ball sitting at the Mount Union 24-yard line. There's the pitch back to Meadows. Running right, this time he is unable to turn the corner. Kostelnik wrestles him out of bounds.
Meadows throws a punch, gets away with it, and being escorted back to the field.
Don't ask me, Harry. I'm just sitting here watching it.
He's being dragged out. He's not too pleased with it at the end of this play. He is in the Raider bench area, but watch him take the ball. I don't know if you'll see it at the end. Maybe it's not even necessary to show it, but takes the ball and there it is. There's the shove.
3rd down and 3. Ball to the 25-yard line. Send out Porter to the right. We got Lee way out here to the left. Give to Meadows. He pounds his way inside the 25, and with that second effort gets back down close to first down yardage. With the ball spotted back at the 23, that'll leave them shy by a yard. 4th and 1.
Well, they've had these 4th down conversions all afternoon, and they've converted them. So here we go again.
Clock showing 4:37 to play and still moving. Porter to the left. Quick the long count, hoping for an offside, doesn't get it. Gives and driving ahead. It's going to be Mount Union ball, I think, if you can believe the Mount Union defense.
Yeah, they held.
It is 1st down 10. There may have been a fumble down at the bottom of that pile of humanity. Either way, it's going to be Mount Union football.
Good job by the Raiders as they, Meadows looked like he had the opening right side. He gets hit, pushed forward, and then gets pushed sideways. Meadows doing everything he can to get the ball stretched, but not to be the case this time as the Raiders take over on a big defensive stand.
He did hang on to the ball, but he was short of the mark, so it's 1st and 10 for the Purple Raiders. And the give is to Kalechi Ibe, and he is up over the 25-yard line. 2nd down, 6 yards to go, almost 5. Inside 4 minutes to play of the 3rd quarter. Well, it's 2nd and 6. Joris quarterbacking. Retreating and throwing down the sideline. It is caught on the far side, but hold your breath. Is he in or out?
Called him out. Of course. It's the way it's been all afternoon. See if Casto gets forced out. He's in the air when he catches it, and I don't think he had a chance to actually get the foot down because he was shoved out.
He was shoved out.
Another official saying maybe that he juggled the football, but
Well,
it's been a hair-splitting type of day.
I say, when things go bad, usually it all goes bad. Quick pitch sideline, picked off over there and out of bounds, short of necessary yardage at the 30-yard line.
That was Boehm on the reception. Raiders going to have to punt.
Brandon Boehm, a sophomore out of Amelia, Ohio, and leaving 4th down, 3 yards to go, and punt time for the Purple Raiders. But more importantly, speaking of time, that clock is going to be down under 3 minutes when this change of possession occurs. Here's the punt. It's a wobbly, no bargain boot that goes out of bounds at the 45-yard line. The Polar Bears will take the ball at that point, first down, 10 yards to go.
Adam Quirk will take control again at the quarterback spot. He's 13 of 17 for 97 yards. Right now, Northern with that 21-7 lead. The lead that they had at halftime.
Very shortly, the game will be at a point where Mount Union just won't have enough time to grind out a couple of touchdowns. First and 10 at the Polar Bear 45. Pitch back Quirk to Garrett, and Garrett crosses over the 50 and is belted out at the Mount Union 45, and it looks from here as though he's got the first down.
Yeah, when they've done the deep pitch on the option, it's gone pretty well, especially down the left sideline. I thought that was Meadows at first. Meadows, of course, is the one who made the really big run in the first half on that play, but it was Garrett who picked up first down yardage.
All at the Mount Union 44. Well, Baldwin Wallace will be here at Mount Union next Saturday afternoon. Another perennial opponent for the Purple Raiders. They always seem to get their best game together when they come play Mount Union.
They do. In fact, they're the last OAC team to beat Mount Union, and it happened right here at Mount Union Stadium in '94.
Quirk back, give to Garrett. Garrett to the 40 and down. But he picks up a good solid 4 yards on the play and will take the clock inside 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Garrett, a junior, just played down the road at Columbiana. Clock at 1 minute and 40 seconds to play in the third quarter. This game has been Ohio Northern's from the get-go. Lee in motion. Quirk back, gives on the handoff to Garrett. Garrett at the 40 and slides down to the 35, but as Harry says, there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, this was a hold, I believe, on Northern. I'm virtually certain this is going to go against the Polar Bears, but whether it's a hold or there's a fine line between illegal use of hands and a hold. So this is a hold.
So the holding call marches the ball from the 40 back to midfield. Clock at 1 minute and 20 seconds to play in the third quarter. It'll be second down and 15 yards to go. Actually 16. The Polar Bears have to get to the 34 for a first down. Lee, the man in motion again. Quirk going to throw it down the sideline to Willem, and he got a hand on it, couldn't hold it. Was covered back downfield by Ryan Fell. So a junior from Pittsburgh, PA, and with 54 seconds to go, it'll be third down and 16 yards to go.
One of the rare times when Quirk has gone long, and it almost worked. Whitwer got a fingertip on it. He was hoping for an interference call, but that was not forthcoming.
Ross Porter to the right. They put Garrett in the slot on the right side. Wideouts to the left. It's an empty backfield behind Quirk. He's going to keep it and run it, and he's going to get squashed at the 50-yard line.
Well, this works for Ohio Northern. I mean, they didn't pick up the first down, but they will have the wind as they punt the ball, which is what they've had the entire third quarter, and that's given them good field position because the flag is whipping toward the northeast.
Jesse Wells was the last man to make that stop for the Raiders. 6 feet even, 300 pounds, a senior from Caldwell, Ohio. And here comes the punt by Brian Lee, who spends a lot of the afternoon as a wideout for the Polar Bears. He punts it downfield. Casto calls for the fair catch, takes it at the 18-yard line, and Mount Union will take over with 3 seconds to go in the third quarter, trailing 21-7. They'll spot the ball right at the 20 and make it first down and 10 yards to go.
Mount Union trailed Capital going into the fourth quarter.
17-14.
Right.
And scored the first 3 times they put their fingers on the football.
They did, but you can't hope for that every time, can you?
No,
and this is a 2-touchdown lead.
This was an entirely different kind of ball game. Joris the give. Running with it is Robinson, and he is able to get over the 25 up to the 26-yard line. That will end the third quarter. So at the end of 3 periods of play, Mount Union trailing 21-7 against Ohio Northern. We'll be back for the fourth quarter after this timeout.
Well, back at Mount Union Stadium, 21-7, Ohio Northern leading after 3 quarters, and the Purple Raiders with their work cut out for them if they are to get their 100th consecutive OAC win.
Ball at the Mount Union 26-yard line. 1st and 10. Brendan Boehm out wide to the near side as Joris goes back. Joris fires a strike down the middle. It is caught at the 39-yard line. The man who made the snag was Maxwell Smith.
Well, Northern said they came up with it, but he picked it off of Maxwell Smith after he was on the ground. It was a good acting job, though. And today's performances by some of the players have certainly fooled the officials. Carey was the guy who came up with it after he went down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Mount Union trailing by 2 TDs as we're moving into the fourth quarter. Morris back, throws outside. It's complete to Robinson. He's dumped up at the 43, 44-yard line. Tackle made by Wes Hostetler.
Out of the backfield goes Robinson into the flat. Joris picks him out, but boy, the Polar Bears had that one well read, and it's short yardage for Robinson on the reception.
2nd and 6. Joris fires another sideline strike, and again, it's Robinson getting it and tumbling out of bounds, leaving a couple of yards shy for 3rd down.
Robinson had to go down to get that one. He was just short of the sticks. This was designed to get the first down, but the pass was such that Robinson, who did have some cushion there, had to slip down to get the ball, and this is a crucial 3rd down situation. But I think it's 4-down territory given what's going on here, down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
Casto right, Boehm left. Joris hands to Robinson. He breaks free at the 50, at the 45, and is knocked out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go.
For all intents and purposes, Mount Union, the offense has not scored a touchdown here going into the fourth quarter. The lone score for Mount has been on the blocked punt returned. Here's the draw to Robinson, who picks up good first down yardage.
Snap back to Joris. He looks, fires a strike, deflected and incomplete. And very close to being intercepted by a Rusty Midlam.
Well, those are the dangerous ones, the ones that get tipped and then you kind of just flutter out there. The Raiders got a break here by this not being picked off. Ball was thrown behind Smith, but there weren't any Polar Bears in a position to pick it off.
Second down, 10 yards to go. The ball at the Polar Bear 42-yard line. Joris back, throws to the sideline, and it is caught. And then an immediate hit on Boehm, again by a man who's playing very good defense today, Wes Hostetler, for the Polar Bears. Knocked him down, leaving 3rd and 7.
Boy, Boehm paid the price for this catch. It was a nice catch, but he really got decked as he tried to turn it upfield. Not more of a solid tackle will you find than that one.
Clock ticking down to 13 minutes to go in the ball game. Joris out of the shotgun, but flags flutter, people jump around, and we'll get a call one way or another on this one.
Well, this is illegal procedure on Mount. Again, somebody missed the count.
Yep. Well, that'll push it back 5 yards from the 38 back to the 43. We'll leave it 3rd down and 11 yards to go. Joris ready, aims, fires down the middle. It's caught and then dropped by Boehm, who got absolutely leveled by Austin Netzley, a sophomore out of Piqua. He made a bone-jarring tackle.
Yeah, he did. Boy, Boehm, his ball was thrown a little bit high, and that made Boehm a little more vulnerable. He goes up high, and then when he lands, he does get leveled. A good defensive play by Northern.
Well, 4th and 11. Purple Raiders starting to run out of opportunities. Joris looks, fires down the middle, and intended for Maxwell Smith. It was high, couldn't handle, and Ohio Northern slams the door again. And this with a resounding thump, because they hold the Raiders at bay, and with 12:46 to play, the Polar Bears have the football.
Well, Joris puts a little extra zip on this, and it's just a little too tall for Smith, who goes up high and can't reel it in.
First and 10 for the Polar Bears.
Now they'll try to milk the clock. There's no reason for them to do anything other than just try to move the ball and move the sticks.
Lee in motion. In the backfield, handoff to Meadows, and Meadows pounds his way over the 50 down to the 48-yard line in Mount Union territory, gobbling up about 9 of the 10 needed yards for the first down.
And this is where your offensive line gets some added incentive. They sense the victory. Their team's up 2 touchdowns. They've played well up to now. It's just a matter of protecting the football. The only thing really standing in the way between Ohio Northern and a victory now is if they would make a mistake here.
Second down, and a yard to go for the first down. Work at quarter, and they hand off to Meadows, and he pounds his way down for the first down at the Mount Union 46.
Interestingly, too, the holes that are being created right now are the holes that were being created in the first half, not like they were in the third quarter. It looks like that offensive line is really getting off the ball. And They smell blood.
Well, as you say, Harry, at this point, the offensive line knows it's really up to them to ensure the victory. Meadows now 15 carries for 116 yards and 3 touchdowns. First and 10. Little flare pass, and it is caught by Meadows diving to get it, and it's going to cost him a yard or 2.
That's the one play that just has not worked for Ohio Northern today. A little flare out to one of the running backs, whether it be Garrett or Meadows.
2nd and 12. Down to 11 minutes to play. Well, Harry, all good things must come to an end, and the way things are going here today, we're liable to see a really good thing come to an end.
It certainly looks like it at the moment.
2nd and 12. The fake, the give to Meadows, and Meadows this time is crushed for no gain. May even have lost a yard. Jesse Wells leading the attack. But the clock keeps moving. So it's 3rd and 13. Union has not scored an offensive touchdown today. They got one on a block punt return. Quirk looking over the defense. Play clock down to 2 seconds as he goes back and rolls, gets away from one, slips and falls all the way back at the Ohio Northern 46-47 yard line.
Well, took up some time. Now they'll be punting. And the wind now has kind of shifted across the field, so it's not the north-south that it appeared to be in the 3rd quarter. Quirk doing a nice job to avoid a bigger loss than what he had.
Ryan Lee will punt. He's a senior from Kettering, Ohio. Long count. And now Lee gets off a kick against the breeze, comes to Casto at the 20. He is still at the 20, dances to the 25, and a flag is taken.
Wow, that is a late flag.
And it was thrown clear across the field from where the action ensued.
The one official on the near side throws it, has to go pick it up and then move it toward the middle of the field, while the nearer official, who refused to make the call, didn't make the call. This crew usually works together well. They have been questionable the entire game.
Holding against the Purple Raiders. Clock ticking down to 8:44.
It may have been an offense, but the thing is, the official that was looking right at the play did not make the call. So why the other official chose to come in and make the call, it becomes the question.
1st and 10. Joris to eBay, and eBay is able to get maybe a yard or 2. Pickups like that are going to do little more than kill the clock. 8:27 to go.
Well, Mount's tried just about everything offensively to get untracked here, and they just haven't been able to do it. Ohio Northern's been tough.
The Ohio Northern fans who've had to sit in the rain all afternoon are warming up. They're feeling real good right now, and I don't blame them. Joris fires to the sideline, and it's ruled a catch up at the 22-yard line.
J.J. Dietz on that one.
3rd down and 2 yards to go. Dietz, a junior from Willard, Ohio. Third and a long yard. Shotgun formation for the Raiders. Joris to eBay, and eBay finds running room. 30, 35, breaks free, and then is finally knocked down. And the man who saved it from being an even bigger pickup was Bernard Curry, a freshman from Columbus.
Well, nothing tricky here, just a nice job by the offensive line, and eBay hits the hole in a hurry and breaks that tackle. And that's when I thought he might have been off to the races, but a nice, sure tackle. It wasn't so sure, but it was enough to slow him down, and down he went.
Joris again. Airs it out down the sideline. A flag is thrown.
Yeah, this one's going to go against Northern. They were trying to hit Garcon on the fly, and there were a lot of white jerseys around him, including Ryan Robertson, and Robertson's the one who showed immediate displeasure with the call.
Well, they bring the ball back. Ohio Northern incensed.
Yeah, equal opportunity, I guess.
In spite of the way they've played and the 21-7 lead, I don't think Dean Paul and his crew are going to be real sure about this one until they're on the bus. The ball is moved by penalty over the 50 to the Ohio Northern 48. First down, 10 yards to go. Maxwell Smith out wide to the left. They put double slot left. And back to throw is Joris, fires a strike, intercepted, intended for Pierre Garcon. Still on his feet, still galloping down the field is the man that may have sealed the deal. Number 30, Rusty Midlam, a senior from Mount Orab. That's his 2nd interception, and this one, with 7:24 to play in the ball game, gives Ohio Northern a really big shot in the arm.
Now Joris again going to Garcon deep on the throw, and Midlam gets there before Garcon to pick it off. Ball hung up there a little too long. Didn't get enough on it.
And Midlam was playing center field on that one and roamed over after Garcon had outrun his defensive man, and it looked for a moment as though, who knows, but what it looks like now is Ohio Northern with a pitch back to Meadows, and this is
Garrett.
This is Garrett, Derek Garrett. He goes wide and keeps the clock running. The ball at the 38-yard line. Lost some yardage, but gained some time. 2nd and 13. Inside 7 minutes to go. Whitmer comes wide to the right, Lee to the left. Quirk trying to eat up some of that clock. Back, throws a little flare out on the right side, and that's Garrett with it to the 50-yard line and very close to another Ohio Northern first down.
I'm telling you what, Quirk, within a microsecond of getting that ball knocked out of his hands, that's about the 3rd time he has just gotten a pass away, and he has played a great game. Right there, just about, it looked like he was going to get the ball swatted, but he got it away to Garrett, enough to get close to the first down.
3rd and 1, a short one at that. And we're down to 5:55 to play.
$15 of 20 for Quirk, 108 yards.
Diving ahead is Quirk. Forward progress may well give him the first down. It's very close. They'll unpile humanity at the 49-yard line. and they may bring on the chains for a measurement. If it is, it's the first one we've had today.
I think you got it.
5:36 to play.
Official timeout for measurement.
Well, Ohio Northern trying to end an OAC win streak for the Mount Union Purple Raiders that has stretched back over 99 games. First down. 5:36 to play.
Now these I shouldn't say are the streaks. It's not over yet. 110 straight regular season wins, 99 straight conference wins, 54 straight road wins. And quite frankly, I don't think the coaching staff will lose any sleep over the fact that the streaks are gone. They're more concerned about the next 3 ball games that are coming up: Baldwin Wallace, Muskingum, Heidelberg, and then, should they make the playoffs, then they'll worry about the playoffs.
Well, as we've learned today, nothing is for sure. Pitch back, running with the ball is Meadows. He's been the workhorse today and goes out of bounds down at the 36-yard line. Chased out down there by Ross Watson. 5:03 to go. Another first down for the Polar Bears.
And Meadows, who's enjoyed an excellent game as well. And Mount, those ankle swipes have been working at times, but Ohio Northern's not going down on ankle swipes. It's taken 2 and 3 guys to bring down guys like Meadows, Quirk, Garrett, etc.
Meadows 17 carries for 127 yards, 3 touchdowns. Lee in motion. Quirk going to keep it himself and then hits the deck at the 36-yard line.
Quirk was wanting to pitch, but Mount had the pitchmen covered, and wisely just went to the turf so that he could eat up a little bit more clock. Because right now, with a 2-touchdown lead and the clock going inside of 4:35, the important thing is not to turn the ball over.
Spot is between the 36 and 37, leaving second down, 10 yards to go. Quirk motions Lee into motion, turns to the backfield and flips it downfield, and it is caught down at the 32-yard line. No, incomplete pass. Third down, 10 yards to go. He slid behind one of those riverlets I have in my window, and I couldn't see it.
Here's another shot. He just kind of lofts it up there, hoping he can get to it. But tough pass to complete. Does stop the clock.
Thanks for the replay. Well, we've worked in some rather tough conditions, Harry, over 20 years. This will rank in the top 5.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty miserable. It's not like Wisconsin, but it's...
Oh, that's number 1. I ended up with pneumonia on that one. Here's Quirk back. He fires a strike right through the hands of the intended receiver, Ross Porter, who paid for it with a jarring tackle from Ken Whitfield. Stops the clock with 4:03 to go.
Another look at it. Again, Northern putting the ball in the air to try to pick up the first down. But while they do that, they're stopping the clock on the incompletion. And now they will try to pin the Raiders back deep with a pooch kick here.
4th and 10. The punt is a floater. It is caught on a fair catch by Robert McDavid, senior from Canal Winchester. And that's going to give Mount Union 85 yards to go for 1 touchdown, and they need 2.
There is a flag.
And it's against Mount Union, if you can believe the Ohio Northern players.
Was this on the return? I mean, Let's see what we've got. Personal foul against Mount Union. Yeah. So while the ball was at the 15, it's now going to be marched down inside the 10.
3:57 left. There is a stunned group of folks sitting across the way under the covered stands, and a group of delirious, although soaked fans sitting below us.
Boy, I just, you know, you look at scores in the OAC during the season, and how in the world Mount would beat John Carroll 70-0, and then Northern would lose to John Carroll
50-25.
Right. This is Robinson.
Racing ahead is Robinson. He has been the main man for Mount today.
It's going to get him over 100 yards rushing.
Indeed, he had 92 yards before that carry. He's carried the ball 20 times today. Kalechi 6 for 49. Back to pass is Joris. He fires one to the secondary receiver, and falling ahead to the 40-yard line is Kalechi Ibe. It's the first catch that he's made today.
Northern's definitely not wanting to give Mount the long ball, so they'll give up the short one, and Ibe gets just enough for the first down.
1st and 10 at the Mount 41. Joris fires another strike down the middle, but there's nobody home. The intended receiver was Maxwell Smith. And the clock down to 3:21 now.
Matt Carey was actually the closest one to the ball for Ohio Northern.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Ball at the Mount Union 41-yard line. Ohio Northern on the brink of a really big upset. Not because they didn't have the horses to win, but given the circumstances, Mount Union was the definite favorite. There's a throw over Casto and everybody else, for that matter, out of bounds.
Yeah. Joris was getting pressure. He actually sidearmed that ball. That's the first time I've actually seen him have to throw the ball sidearm.
Well, 3rd and 10.
Good pressure by Northern forced this throw out of bounds.
'99 consecutive wins in the OAC. Whoop, there's a flag. The flag has been thrown, and it's against Mount Union.
Illegal substitution.
Like I say, Harry, sometimes when it goes bad, everything goes bad.
It's just one of those days.
Mount has had every conceivable thing happen in a negative way today. Calls, infractions, fumbles, interceptions.
A lot of that caused by Ohio Northern, though.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. Strike downfield, and,
nope.
Well, for the moment,
yeah, he bobbled it.
He had it, but J.J. Dietz couldn't hang on. Yeah, I'm in no way, shape, or form going to take anything away from Ohio Northern, because they have played a superb football game here today and deserve to win. 3 minutes exactly to play. The fans chanting, "Let's go Bears." That's going to be a happy bus ride back to Ada.
Boy, isn't it?
Joris, the strike, the catch, Robinson at the 40, and Russell down at the 37-yard line.
Yeah.
That wasn't Robinson at all. That was Brandon Bain.
Bain makes the nice catch. Joris with the good throw, caught it in the crowd.
1st and 10. Joris again looking for Casto. He overshot Bain, and Casto was not even in the neighborhood by the time the ball got there. 2:45 to play.
Now Joris going out to Bain, but overthrows him. And again, that wind is whipping from the west-northwest, which is where the direction of the ball. So it can sail on you if you're a quarterback throwing that way.
And it's a rain-laden wind as well.
Look out.
Joris strike. Nice defensive move laid on there by Wes Hostetler, who's played a great defensive game for Ohio Northern today.
Yeah, nice play there. I thought actually they came in on a blitz. I thought Joris was about to get leveled. I think the defender went flying by him. Trying to put the ball in there, but you can see a lot of white jerseys in that secondary. It's hard to pick out the black jerseys.
Harry, you're more up on this than I am. If these two teams now win out and share the conference championship, are they likely to meet in the first round of the playoffs?
Well, with Ohio Northern's problems with the NCAA,
that's right. I forgot
that's
about
still
that.
an issue. They're appealing, so you don't know yet.
They've been very appealing today.
Yes, they have. To their
Joris
fans.
runs it out.
Another fourth down conversion coming.
And we are slowly arriving at the point in time where it's academic.
Oh, we had a flag. A flag back at the 46-yard line.
Why not?
Way back at the 46-yard line.
Well, it's 2:31 to play. At the moment, third down, 10 yards to go. Referee explaining this to the Ohio Northern coach.
I think it's a matter. I mean, this is a major infraction. So do you give them another down, or do you make it fourth and about 7? They're going to decline it. Make it fourth down. That'll be 4th and 8.
Fourth down, 8 yards to go. Joris coming back in from the sideline. Going out wide to the right is J.J. Dietz. We've got Maxwell Smith slot right. Casto to the left. Joris back. Now he airs it out for the end zone, and wide open for the touchdown is Maxwell.
Oh, Smith. Yeah, it was Maxwell
Smith. My, oh my, you couldn't be any more wide open than that.
Well, that seemed incredible that he was that wide open. Joris bought the time. The offensive line did its job, and Joris found Smith in the end zone. Well, there's still a glimmer of hope.
21-13. Zimmerman.
Oh, the defender fell down. That's what it was. It was Shane Porter was back there, and he fell down, and that created the Smith touchdown.
Randy Mason holds. The kick is up and good, and it's 21-14. There are 2 minutes and 24 seconds to go. Don't go away, folks. You never know.
Well, the first offensive touchdown of the game for Mount Union comes with 2:24 remaining in the fourth as Joris takes the snap. He wanted to throw there, nothing doing. Good blocking up front. Defender falls down, and then Smith is wide open for the touchdown.
So now Mount Union will kick off.
I would imagine we'll see the onside kick. Got 2 timeouts remaining with 2:24 left, so Northern cannot run out the clock. But they can sure make it close.
We thought we saw an onside kick to start the ball game, but in the reviewing the replays at halftime, it may well have just been a misfired squib kick because Ohio Northern squib kicked all afternoon.
Right. It sort of set the tone, though, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Zimmerman will do the booting. We've got David Delk.
Well, this is not something Mount Union usually has to find themselves doing, an onside kick. They're never in a position to have to do it, but let's see what happens.
David Delk and Garrett are the 2 deep backs, and they're not all that deep because everybody in the house expects to see an onside kick. Zimmerman does indeed kick the ball. It's
It's
a
loose.
swift kick. It's loose. Big pile up, and who got it?
I think Northern says they have it.
Northern did get it at the 46-yard line. Boy, everybody but the team manager jumped on that one. So the ball is at the 46-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go.
This was a tough one to handle, especially on the wet field. It goes zipping between defenders. There's the fumble. Ball still loose. Meadows looked like he had it, and I don't know who ended up with it, but Northern got the football.
2 minutes, 24 seconds to play. 21-14, Ohio Northern. Lee in motion. In the backfield, Meadows with it. Short yards up to about the 48. Picked up a couple. Flag down.
Oop, we do have a flag.
Flag thrown over in Mount Union territory at about the 43-yard line. And we'll get the referee's call on this one.
Illegal. Oh, it's a crack block. Illegal block. Let's go. Let's just say that.
Easy enough for you to say.
That's easier
Harry.
to say than what I wanted to say. And it's a major penalty, and of course the Raiders will take that one.
Ball is at the 30, between the 33 and 34-yard line.
Now they will wind the clock, so that was one reason to maybe try to decline that penalty, but it does make it tougher for Northern to pick up the first down, and we still do have 2 timeouts remaining. And Northern now will take its time.
First and 23. Quirk keeping his eye on the play clock, which is at 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1 he snaps and gives to Meadows. And Meadows picks up some yardage.
And now Mount will call a timeout.
So it's second down and 17, 18 yards to go. 150 left of the ball game. Mount Union looking for a miracle right now.
That is what it would take. They need the hold. Hope for a block punt or a great punt return or something to set up field position for a dramatic finish that would result in at least a tie, and then hope for overtime. But boy, that's a lot of hoping. And as well as Ohio Northern has played, they have played good, sound, fundamental football. I do not recall a turnover. Do they have a turnover? I don't think they do.
Let me gaze at the sheet here.
Yeah.
So with 1:50 to go, 2nd and 19. Work turns, gives the ball to Meadows, and he's up over the 40 to the 42-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and another timeout taken by the Mount Union Purple Raiders.
That sets up a 3rd and about 13 now for Northern. Mount is now out of timeouts. So, you know, if you're Ohio Northern with a 3rd and long, I don't think you want to take the chance and put the ball in the air here. The best you can probably do is a good, strong running play and then let the clock run down as far as it possibly can before you punt it.
Raiders have had the edge in block punt returns today. They've had one turn it into a TD.
Yep. Well, you look at that score, and now it's a 1 touchdown difference, and you go back to the end of the first half when the tightrope of Aaron Robinson was called out of bounds when we had it as a touchdown, and then Ohio Northern with the great goal line stand at the end of the first half. That ends up being critical critical part of the game.
All right, here comes the 3rd and 13. And they give to Meadows at the 45 and at the 50, and he is still fighting, and he's going to be very close to a first down.
He's going to be about a half yard short.
Yes, they unpile him. That's exactly right.
Well, now what do you do if you're Northern?
Good question. Good question. I'm glad I don't have to answer it. 4th and 1.
Mount can't stop the clock. Play clock's down to 18 seconds. The clock is ticking down. They'll probably call a timeout to figure out what they want to do. Let it run down as far as they can, and then Northern will probably call a timeout.
Yep, Quirk just standing with the referee saying, I want timeout with 1 on the play clock, and that's what they do.
53 seconds remaining in the game. Northern calls time, and they've got a 4th and less than a yard at the Mount 45. Interesting.
That's what you call great clock management, because he stood right there with his arm on the shoulder of the referee and said, toot your whistle when that play clock says 1.
If you punt the ball, you're risking the block punt.
Right.
However, if you get a successful punt away, you're going to gain 30 to 35 yards, which are critical yards at this stage in the game. If you decide to go for it and make it, you win the game. If you decide to go for it and don't make it, you've given Mount Union some opportunity to win the game themselves. But I think they're going to go for it. I don't see the punt unit out there.
Here comes quarterback Quirk.
Now the other alternative, of course, which is something you see at every level, is to send the team in there as though they're going to go for it. Long, hard counts, trying to draw the defense offside and then decide to punt it. Let's see what they do. Dean Paul's got a lot of options here.
He learned from one of the best. Long count. Pitch back Meadows, and they stack him up.
He didn't get it.
He did not get it. Mount Union will take over at their own 45-yard line, and 48 seconds to go.
Oh my. You had all those options. The option that works best for Mount Union occurs, and now with no timeouts left and 48 seconds left, Mount Union gets the football.
Meadows, who had gobbled up 148 yards prior to that carry, nails short of first down. 48 seconds left in the game. Mount Union is 55 yards away from potentially tying the game. Joris back. Joris fakes. Joris throws. Joris is nailed. And the tackle by Shane Porter, a freshman from Canal Winchester.
You have to hurry up.
Clock still ticking along. Joris has it, looks, fires a strike, catch on the knees down at the 45-yard line.
That's going to be just enough for the first down.
That was Maxwell Smith who received the ball and moved the sticks.
Down to 18 seconds.
Clock starting again. Joris back, fires another sideline pass, and it is knocked away.
Down to 10 seconds. You probably only have time for 2 more at best.
Wes Hotstetler was in on that defensively, and he has played a tremendous defensive game for the Polar Bears.
This is a frantic attempt at a comeback by Mount Union when it looked like they were dead.
21-14 Polar Bears. They spread it out all over the gridiron. eBay the setback with the quarterback Joris. Joris looking, tackled.
That's it.
And that's the game. The final score, the Ohio Northern Polar Bears 21, the Mount Union Purple Raiders 14, their first first OAC loss after 99 consecutive wins. Harry?
That's amazing. You know, Mount Union has all these victories that they have piled up during the Larry Karras era. And it just seems so strange that so many of them have happened right here on this home field. They go on the road and, you know, just roll up the yardage, roll up the wins, and here we are at home. And Joe, I know it's been a long time since we did that Baldwin Wallace game in 1994, but here we are again in 2005 on the home field with a big loss to Ohio Northern. But you know what? In this case, there's life after the loss. The losses that Mount Union has compiled recently have been to eliminate them from the playoffs or perhaps losing the Stag Bowl. This time there's life after the loss. No question if Mount wins their remaining 3 games, they've got to beat BW at home, win at Muskingum and Heidelberg, they will get an NCAA berth and life will continue. But for Ohio Northern, what a big win. You always want to be the team that can knock off the giant, and that is what the Polar Bears have done here this afternoon.
Yeah, take nothing away from Ohio Northern. They played to win, they deserved to win, and they did win in, I thought, convincing fashion.
Dean Paul to be congratulated, and his coaching staff. His team has had its share of injuries as well. They've had the NCAA investigation, which may cost them an opportunity for the playoffs. They're on appeal for that, for violations that occurred long before Dean Paul took over this team. And they have defeated Mount Union at Mount Union Stadium. Final score 21-14 in an upset win. You can see those are tears of joy for Ohio Northern. They have done something that no team has been able to do in quite some time, winning an Ohio Conference game over Mount Union. And there's much to be learned for the Purple Raiders. A lot of season left. In addition to the remaining games of the regular season, they hope to also be a playoff team again this year.
Well, Harry, that's going to do it for us. Hopefully we'll get together again in the playoffs, and if not, next year.
That's right. Always a pleasure to have you here, Joe Tate. I know you have a lot of things on your plate, and when you can make it to Alliance and help us do these broadcasts from Mount Union Stadium, it's very much appreciated.
Thank you, Harry.
So on behalf of our image video crew with Dean Marini as producer, for Joe Tate, this is Harry Pata saying so long, everybody, from Mount Union Stadium. Our final score one more time, Ohio Northern 21, Mount Union 14, a rare occurrence at Mount Union Stadium.